Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Facebook Live video tutorial. Tonight, I'm super excited. I'm going to be showing how to make this card here using the brand new Abstract Impressions stamp set. It's going to be in the 2018-2019 annual catalog through Stampin' Up. It's a good catalog, and this is definitely one of the highlights. I'm super excited about this bundle here that you can, I'm not using it as a bundle, but it does come as a bundle, and I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm pretty excited because as I was creating this card, I started off with making it and keeping it pretty simple, and then I just kept adding to it. Hi Karen, good evening. And so I just kept adding like a detail here and another detail there, and then I decided, I thought, oh well, how about I do this on my Facebook Live tutorial as well. I tend to create simple cards, very, very simple, not too many details on it. However, I really like cards with details on it. So what I usually do, and this is very silly, is I'll put my card together, keep it simple, and go, this is really funny, you're gonna laugh. My upline's name is Amy, and I'll say, what would Amy add? Because she just has such a way with details. And so I just add like a couple more elements here and there until I feel like the card is ready. So here's tonight's card. I feel like this is really dark. Hold on, let's see if I move my outlights. Give me a second. Is that better? That's better, right? Sorry, now I feel like I need to have all my outlights around me in order to have it look somewhat bright. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay. I know, Karen, it sounds ridiculous. I don't naturally make really involved, detailed cards myself. However, it's what I'm drawn to. It's what I will pin on Pinterest. It's the style I like. So I kind of have to push myself to keep adding to my cards. Sometimes if it were up to me, I would just keep them really simple. Now tonight, like I said, this uses the new Abstract Impressions stamp set, although it is offered with a bundle in the new catalog. Let's get that. There we go. So here's the stamp set. It is multiple step stamping if you want, and you can kind of see what goes together, like these two images go together, these two go. That looks like you could do 3-step stamping. These guys go together, so you can kind of see, and it just helps you get different dimension on your card when you're stamping. And it does come in a bundle with the Springtime Impressions Thinlits dies. Say that 10 times fast. And this is gorgeous. How beautiful and pretty is that? This detail is so nice, and I cannot wait to use that butterfly. So, although we're not using them tonight, I should have used them tonight somehow. Oh well. If you get them in the bundle, you do get a 10% off discount. So if you have your eye on both items, both products, you're definitely going to want to buy the bundle and save the extra 10%. Okay, so let's start tonight with my cards, because I'm technically making 3. I have like 3 card bases, three of everything. So it may take a little bit longer. This is thick Whisper White cardstock. This is definitely the thick one you're going to want to use if you're using it as the card base to your overall card. It's definitely sturdier and will hold up if you want to like stand it up. It won't collapse. This set is on my list, Karen says. Yes. Yep, we got to pre-order. I was glad it was on the pre-order. Oh, I got distracted. This is 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. And I just have to do that 3 times because, again, I'm making 3 versions. I'm calling them bronze, silver, and gold just to kind of keep them track. Oh, hi, Christy. Oh, thank you. Do you like that? I'm very excited. Okay, so this is our card base. Next, I took, where is it? Here we go. Some Flirty Flamingo cardstock. This is an in color currently, but it's actually going to be carrying over as a part of the regular color collections. So Flirty Flamingo, this is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have over it just a piece of Whisper White that's 1/8 of an inch smaller. This is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Now you're going to see on this like stepped up version, I embossed it. For my bronze, as I'm calling it, card, I'm not going to do any embossing. Again, the bronze, I'm keeping things pretty simple. I'm not adding too many details or different components to the card. It'll definitely be like a card that you could whip up very easily and fast without any issues. You know, there's mostly just stamping and some cardstock, nothing too obscure. So that's going to go over our card base here. Next, I have, thanks Lisa, what a cute card. Oh, thank you. Which embossing folder is that? It is, let's see, Pinewood Planks. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Hi, Louise. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're on. That's hysterical. Okay, so my circle here, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, it has like this little stitched detail around the edge of it. It's from the Stitched Shapes Framelits Dies. And it's the largest circle that you can get there. And I'm going to be using, these are my colors. I have, well, let's go like that. I have Flirty Flamingo is the lighter shade of pink. The Lovely Lipstick is the darker red. Coastal Cabana is the lighter blue. And then Call Me Clover is the darker green that you see there. Those are the colors I'm using. They're all, let's see here. They're all new or returning colors. So like Flirty Flamingo and Coastal Cabana should be retired, but they're coming back. And Lovely Lipstick and Call Me Clover are new 2018-2020 in colors. Whew, that is a mouthful. So I'm going to start, let's clear my station. Okay. I'm going to start with the lighter shade, which is Coastal Cabana. When you order your Coastal Cabana, it won't look like this. It'll be in one of our new ink pads. I just never got rid of mine. So this is what? 2 years? No, I think longer than that. 3 years old. Oops. So it's yours won't look like this. Yours will be the beautiful new ink pads. Now I have to do this 3 times because my circles don't change at all. So I'm just inking up and I'm going to do one kind of to the left. And then ink it up again and one to the right. Ta-da. Now the new ink pads, you can see that mine has like little dots on it almost. That's because of the humidity and the bubbles that are created on my ink pads. The new ink pads won't have that. It has a non-bubbling formula, brand new formula on it, which will help. You know, I don't know about you, but when it's in the dead of summer and it's super humid here, my ink pads get like little bubbles on them. And when you stamp down, you can actually like see the bubbles. So, number one, it'll not have the bubbles. And number 2, it'll create just a very smooth image. Now, I did notice that on my ink, I think it was the Lovely Lipstick I used the other day. And it did have some bubbling on the actual, oh, I have a kitty cat here. A little bubbling on the stamp pad. But when I went ahead and stamped it, it didn't stamp bubbly. So it definitely stamped smooth and clear. So even though you may see some bubbling on your ink pad, don't freak out like I did. I freaked out a little bit. It stamps fine. It stamps really clean. I'm going to have to pay more attention to the bubbles to see if I get them. On the old ones, Karen, you mean? Not mead. Okay, so these are the new ink pads. Okay, they're gorgeous. They open just like a compact. So open up and then it slides down. It is kind of a tight groove, opening and closing. But the honest to goodness, the more you use it, the more it loosens up. Again, I freaked out about that too. And it was fine. Okay, so this is Call Me Clover, a beautiful green. And I'm going to kind of go over my Coastal Cabana. Although I was trying to see if they lined up, like I had to get it in a very particular spot. And I don't think that's the case. I think you can really kind of play with it a little bit and have the colors overlapping. It really is an artistic stamp set. You know, there's a lot of grace in using it because they don't have to line up perfectly. They can kind of overlap kind of every which way. So it's a very forgiving artistic look. If you tend to get stressed out about having things line up just fine, if it's like a multiple step card or stamp, this is definitely one that you would gonna want to try because, again, you can't really mess it up, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I guess I should have shown you. That was these images here. Next, we're gonna do these ones down here. The bigger ones is what you're gonna want to do in your lighter color. So in this case, this was my Coastal Cabana, and then my darker green was this one. In this case, this is gonna be my Flirty Flamingo, and then this is gonna be the Lovely Lipstick. Karen says, I do. I've got OCD bad. Oh no. I mean, gosh, yeah, I probably do too. That's why I kind of like these, because then I don't have to be like, you know, freaking out about if the images don't line up perfectly or whatever. Okay. So again, I was trying to figure out, are these supposed to go in a very specific placement, or can I kind of just play with it? And it's not like every leaf has a flower, so don't feel the pressure to like line up the ends of the leaf with a particular flower image. Okay, well, I have to do this 3 times. I swear by my Stampin'-majig. Do you know they're discontinuing it, Karen? I actually have it in my Facebook yard sale that I have coming up, which I'll put a little plug in for. If you are looking for any retired product, either that's retiring like new, like right now, either from the annual catalog or the occasions, or some older product that is retired, Stampin' Up, definitely head over to my Facebook page. Well, you should be on my Facebook page now, but stay there. Beginning of June, I'm going to be doing a big Facebook yard sale. And I went on eBay to kind of get a feel for how things were priced, and all my items are pretty well below eBay prices. I really want things to go. I want to make room for the new product, and I price to sell. So you should be happy with the prices. You will still need it with the wood stamps. The Stampin'-majig, really well. I'm going to be honest, Karen, I have it, but I've never used it. I probably shouldn't admit that, but I don't know. I just never got the hang of it, and I never used it. Okay, this is Lovely Lipstick, and I'm just going over the Flirty Flamingo. It just adds a nice little highlight there. Yes, I have to. Oh, yes. Okay. It's interesting. They got rid of it. It's retiring. Maybe you could teach me. I've never used it. I don't even know how to use it. That's so bad. Okay. One more. And, oh, you know what I should have done? Well, I'll do it later, I suppose. Okay. And again, these don't have like a very specific way they're supposed to fall. It's not like they have to line up perfectly. I was trying to like figure out, oh, look what I just did. I look like I cut myself, but I didn't. I stuck my finger in the ink pad. These don't line up perfectly with, I mean, they each kind of have their matching flower, but it's not like they have to go in a very particular spot. You can kind of just like throw it on there and it looks good. Okay, so we got to set these to a side. Here's our, oops, I'm afraid I'm going to get pink. I should have had a baby wipe. This is our bronze card, which means it has the least amount of details in it, but it's still gonna look nice. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this, throw it on my card front there. And I do need to stamp our sentiment, which comes from the Abstract Impressions right down there. Thank you. It's got a nice font to it, and gosh, I am always sending thank you cards, so the more thank yous, the better I have sitting around ready to get mailed out. I stamped it in the Coastal Cabana, so hopefully, yeah. And this little guy here is 1/2 inch, and I don't know how length. Once I cut that, I'll tell you, because I don't know. I figured I would stamp and then trim them down. I was afraid I was I don't know what I was afraid of. It's just the order that I decided to do it in. Okay, oops, let's do him this way. And I don't know, I like the font. Isn't that a pretty font? I think you could use that for guys or girls. I don't think that's too girly at all. I mean, the flowers are, but the actual thank you, I feel like you could definitely use for a guy card. So we'll set these aside. Normally I would use my trimmer to make sure I get a straight line, but let's see if I can eyeball it. Using my paper snips. And just going to put some adhesive on the back, and that's going to go over the front. Like so. Okay, so this is what I'm calling my bronze card. It has some paper, and it, you know, does use the Big Shot to cut out this circle here, the stitch-shaped framelit, but everything else is just paper and stamps. Easy peasy, okay? Now, if I were to step it up just a little bit, let's see here. I'm still going to take my Flirty Flamingo and my Whisper White. Mat that on, because it wouldn't be a Stampin' Up a Jaimie card if it didn't have some sort of matting on it. Although every now and then I like to challenge myself and not mat. On this one, I'm going to throw on some twine. This is the linen thread, which I used last week. I apologize that I'm using it 2 weeks in a row, and I think I said it last week. I use this stuff so much. I love it. It makes easy bows. It has nice texture to it. If you don't use linen thread, you need to get some linen thread. I'm going to do a bow. Now, my trick with a bow is you don't have to worry about getting it super tight. And you're going to be like, what? Hold on, hear me out. Let me fix it. Let me fluff up the bows. Pull I don't want them quite that big. How about like that? And I want it more to the left. Like so. Okay, so it's like really loose, right? It's got like a lot of give there. What I do is I just flip my card over. I put a little adhesive down. And then I scrunch it together to make it nice and tight. And ta-da, you have a tight bow. Because it can be really hard if you don't have anyone around and you're like, oh, I could really use another hand right now to figure that out. Okay, so this one we're going to add, what is this? Lovely Lipstick Scalloped Circle. This was cut out using the Layering Circles Framelits dies, which again is one of those absolute must-haves in my opinion. I use them constantly. Probably the circles I use most out of them. So circles, squares, ovals. I probably use the circles the most. So if you don't already have that, you need to have that. And I'm just going to put that over there. Oh, I gotta glue this down. And sometimes I put glue over the actual thread to make sure it stays in put. Okay, good. This guy is going to go, actually, you know what? I want to put my sentiment down first. I'm just going to snip the end. Dad says smart. Thanks, Dad. Oh, you know what? I didn't get my dimensionals out. Oh, boy. Let's see. Here they are. I'm going to throw on some dimensionals. Again, that's another must-have. There's certain things that I always have kind of lying around my desk. Dimensionals, the circle framelits, some twine or ribbon. I am offering product shares for the new catalogs. I'm offering a designer series paper share. I'm offering a ribbon and embellishment share, and that's a great way to get like these kinds of ribbons. You know, the majority of ribbon sold in the catalogs are like 10 yards, and it can be an investment. You know, if you want a couple different colors, you're paying, I don't know how, usually about $8 each, and you're getting like, let's say you buy 3, you're getting 30 yards of ribbon. The odds are you're not going to use 30 yards of ribbon unless you plan on, you know, like Christmas cards and you want to make multiples of the same kind. So a product share is a great way to just get samplings of all the ribbon, and you pay just a percentage of it. So if you haven't checked out my product share, you're definitely going to want to do that. They're posted on my blog. Okay, so that's ready to go on. So this is what I'm calling my silver card. It has a couple more details, but again, still pretty fast and easy, nothing too complicated. Compared to the first one, which is here. This one, I added the scallop circle in the background and a little bit of twine. And this time with my thank you, I've added some dimensionals to make it kind of stand up a little bit more. So it has 3 more details than this one, but still very easy to pull together. So my bronze card and my silver card. Lynn says, is it better to put the twine on before you do the circles? Okay. So confession, just now I was like, oh man, I wish I hadn't tied that down yet because I probably would have moved that over just a smidge still. Okay, in hindsight, I probably would have put the ribbon on first and then the circle, but not tied it behind. I'll do it for this one. I'll do it the right way there for that one. Hopefully it'll turn out better. Yeah, as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, I really wish I could move that a little bit, but I had already glued it down. Okay, here we go. Round 3. We're still using our Flirty Flamingo cardstock. We're still using our Whisper White. But this time, this Whisper White, we're going to emboss it. So here you can see there's just a little bit of texture there. And that's because I used the Pinewood Planks. Can you see that? It's super tiny. Pinewood Planks Dynamic Embossing Folder. So this is a special embossing folder. There's a couple of them in the catalogs. It's thicker than our average embossing folder, and that it has a lot more detail and like grooves in the paper. When are you doing your interactive card again? That was fun. Thank you, Dad, for asking. Hey, Amy, no problems. I'm planning on doing it next week, so definitely come back next week, and I'm going to be doing my interactive card, which is where you basically make the card. I'll have a couple of elements sitting around here, and I'll ask you, do you want to use this or do you want to use that? And you guys get to make the card. It'll be completely unique and one of a kind because it'll be your creation. And I will ask, it's interactive. You will get to participate. So come back next week. Please. It makes it more fun. The more viewers, the more fun it is. Okay, so back to the embossing folder. So because it is thicker and because there is more grooves in it, if I were to go ahead and just put my cardstock in there, run it through the Big Shot, it would crack my paper because it's so detailed. So in order to prevent the cracking, we just take a spritzer here. Oh my goodness, there's no water in it. Hold on, I think I have another one. Hold on. Okay, this one has water. Okay, I take a spritzer and I just filled it with water. And I hold my paper kind of out of ways. And I usually like spritz it like this. So like I spritz and the paper goes and like lands on the paper. And you don't want to make it wet. You just kind of want to make it damp. You know, the idea isn't to soak the paper. The idea is just to make it moist so that it's more pliable. So then we're going to put it in the embossing folder, and this embossing folder is fun. Why can I never open it? Hold on. Okay, there we go. You can either make your wood grains go horizontal or you can make them go vertical. I almost always make them go vertical. And there are different like wood grain details in the folder. So depending on where you put it, you can get different designs almost every time, which is fun. I have the old style plates, the old ones that have the tabs. So I put it on a tab 1, and instead of using 2 plates, I only use 1. Because again, it's so thick. If you were to try and put it through with 2, you just wouldn't be able to do it. It's way too thick. So in it goes. I'm going to try and make sure it doesn't move your camera too much. And hold on. When we open it, if I can, you get this beautiful design. And again, there's a negative, which has the indents into it. And then you have a positive, which has you can feel it. And depending, you could use it that way or that way. It's great. I think this is my most favorite. Is that a word? Most favorite. This is my favorite embossing folder. And I'm not usually too generous with my adhesive, but because it does kind of warp the paper, I like to go around the entire edge of the paper. It helps it just not pucker up. So down that goes on my Flirty Flamingo. I still have that one. Yeah, it's a good one. Okay. Okay, Lynn, let's see here. I'm not going to do what I did last time, so we're going to wait to do the ribbon. I want to do this next. So I don't know if you can tell in this card, but I actually stamped a couple of the flowers again, fussy cut them out, and adhered them with dimensionals. So some of these actually are popped. It's kind of hard to tell on the video, but they have this one, and this one are all raised. So I gotta get a scrap piece of paper here. I can't get it. Come on. And I should have done this before while I had them out, but I didn't, so we'll do it again quickly. I'm going to stamp the bigger flowers in Flirty Flamingo. Again, then just on scrap paper because you're going to fussy cut them out. Use it all the time. I know, Amy. Isn't it so good? I'm so glad it continued. It's in the new catalog. And then lovely lipstick for the darker detail on the flowers. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like it's, you know, have to be just right. Let's close this up. And this time, let's not ink my finger. Kind of like 3D. Yeah, it is. Exactly, Dad. It is 3D. And then, let's see here. Come on. I think I don't know which ones I cut. I'm just going to randomly pick 3. And when I normally cut a fussy cut, I leave like a little white space around it just because it's easier to cut that way. But this one, I don't know. I'm cutting right on that inked edge. Oh, for this one, I did use the mini dimensionals, which are here. They're like these cute little mini versions of the big dimensionals. You're definitely going to need the mini ones unless you cut down. Oh dear, that didn't sound good. That was one of my kids upstairs. Okay, so now I have to find which flower this was. I think it's this one over here. Is that one? Oops, that may not have been it. Oops, oh well. And let's see, I want, this guy? That guy. So, just fussy cut. You gotta have good fussy cut skills. I actually really don't, but I think there is something kind of soothing about just sitting and cutting. Do you guys like to fussy cut? I feel like you either love it or you hate it. I don't mind it. Actually, no, I do kind of like it. Let's see. I think it, oh dear. Did it go like this? Well, we're going to put it like that. And then I'm going to do one more. I think I want this guy, which is him right here. Again, I mean, I'm trying to pick out the particular flower, but you could pretty much cut out any of these and put it over and no one would probably know the difference. I'm sending my fussy cutting to you. I really just like it. That's funny, Amy. Only you will know it's the wrong flower. Exactly, Karen. Yep. Exactly. No one will notice. And if they do notice, they'll know it was homemade. And shouldn't say a thing. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's see. I think this is that one. Anyways, I did 3 of them. You could actually do all of them if you wanted, but we're not going to do that tonight. Okay, we're going to take our, I keep forgetting the name, Lovely Lipstick. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh no. Okay. We're improvising. I just glued down, I put glue on the wrong side. Hopefully that doesn't stick. Okay, good. Wasn't a complete disaster. We're going to add our thank you again. Again, more dimensionals, which I put right here. 2 do it. 1 might even do it if you put it in the middle, but let's put 2. These guys are so fun. They're just like stickers, so you like put them down and then just peel the back of them. So easy. And they add just the nicest little touch. And I want that one like there, which don't stick. Okay, so Lynn, how are we going to do this? Let me get my twine. And let me cut it. Again, pull it. There's heat in your hand will kind of straighten it because there are like kinks in it from being wound around. And I think what I'm going to do, Lynn, is I'm going to tie the bow and then play with it before I glue everything down. But I definitely want it more to the left than I did the last time. And again, you don't have to worry about making that bow tight because we're going to pull it on the back and no one will ever know that it was loosey-goosey to begin with. So this is, let's see here, like that. Now, let's just see. I think I want it to the left even more, almost like hitting the edge of the paper. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I think, Lynn, I'm going to glue my circle down first. Actually, if you see the twine, it's actually going like between the circle and my thank you, where like the little space because of the dimensional makes. I'm kind of notching it right in there. And then I'm going to come around the back side again to tighten it. Just put a little bit of adhesive down and kind of bring your fingers together in the middle, and all that excess ribbon or twine or whatever you're using ends up there, and you have a nice tight bow. You don't have to worry about it getting super tight. It's so hard to do, especially when you feel like you're home by yourself. You're like, you need like 5 hands, I feel like, to do it sometimes. Okay, I gotta trim my tails, but first let's glue this on the card front. Like so. Again, this is our, what I'm calling the gold version of the card, because I don't know, everybody's aesthetic is different. Sometimes you like more details or less details. But I wanted to prove that adding details doesn't actually necessarily mean a ton more work. It may just mean adding some sort of other detail or fussy cutting or embossing or something like that. It really doesn't have to equate to more work. So let's show them all in line. This is the bronze version, which is just paper, a stitched circle, some stamping, no elevation to the card. This one has the scalloped circle behind it, some linen twine here. So it has a little bit more dimensional because I used the dimensionals on the thank you. And then this is our, what I'm calling our gold version, and it has just all the details come together to just, I don't know, make it more texture, more whatever, more things to look at, I guess is how I want to say that. So those are our 3 cards for tonight. What does Lynn say? That seemed to work better. I like the 3 cards in the process. Oh, you're, thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out, because honestly, when I did this one, I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, I wish I could move that, but it was too late. So it actually provided me the opportunity to go ahead and fix how I did it the first time. Thanks, Louise. Oh, it was relaxing to watch you make that. That's why I say, like, get in comfy clothes, get a fun drink in your hand, sit outside on your porch, and let me do all the work. So those are our 3 cards tonight. If you happen to be watching and didn't leave a comment, definitely do so. At the end, I will draw a name for someone to receive tonight's card. And if I draw your name, I'll ask you which one you want. So either our bronze, silver, or gold, depending on what, you know, is your style card or whatever. I'm flexible. I'll send you any of them. If you have any questions at all about any of the product, please let me know. If you want to get your hands on this beautiful new stamp set and bundles that are coming out, they are available to customers starting June 1st. I'll have all the details on my blog. You can check that out there and on Facebook. But at any time, if you have any questions, please just let me know. I'd be happy to help you if you need help navigating the website or catalogs at all. And if you need a new annual catalog and haven't received one yet, definitely let me know. I can get one in the mail right away for you. You ate a brownie sundae while you're watching, Lynn. I love it. Oh, look at my dad. He's giving me plugs. I love it. My dad's, yes, there's a plug for next week. Next week, I'm doing my interactive videos, which means I will have a couple of products for you to choose from. But for the most part, you guys are designing the card. So I'll ask you whether you want to use this or if you want to use that. You decide, and that's what we go forward with. And the more people, the more fun. So definitely invite people to watch and to grab a brownie sundae or a fun drink of your choice. And we'll have fun next week. I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for checking this out, and I will see you next week. See you later. Bye-bye.